Yo, what's going on, guys? It's time for another reaction video, and today I'm going to be reacting to 5 rare weather moments caught on camera. This is coming from the YouTube channel Underworld, so if you like this video and this type of content, make sure to go check them out. Let's get straight into it.
Extreme weather and powerful storms happen all over the globe. Every once in a while, though, somebody captures a moment on film that is so rare, it's hard to believe without seeing it for yourself. From a quadruple waterspout spotted in the ocean off the coast of Thailand, to heavy rain that is only hitting a single car in a packed parking lot, here are 5 rare weather moments that were caught on camera. Thailand is a country whose climate is very susceptible to extreme weather. They experience everything from floods and tropical storms to droughts and wildfires. This video, taken from Thailand, captures one of these weather moments on film. The only difference is that this isn't your typical weather. What we see here is actually a water spout.
That looks like something out of a video game or something.
A powerful vortex that usually appears as a funnel-shaped cloud over a body of water. In its most common form, it's a non-supercell tornado. The only thing is, in this video, there isn't just one water spout, but 4 of them, all happening at the same time.
That's crazy. I don't know that I'd just be hanging out watching it. I'd be trying to find out what's the best place to take cover from that.
Waterspouts by themselves aren't that rare of a weather phenomenon, as they're known to occur in many different parts of the planet. Seeing 4 at once, however, would make for quite the surprise. You'll know when a waterspout is about to happen because they always start the same way. A dark spot will appear on the surface of the water. Most waterspouts actually don't suck up water, even though that's exactly what it looks like is happening. The wind just isn't fast enough to suck water up high into the air. They're not as powerful as land tornadoes, although sometimes waterspouts spawned by cyclones can spin at some pretty fast speeds. But just because they're not as fast as land tornadoes doesn't mean they're harmless. Waterspouts can be pretty dangerous to boats, planes, and any people who get too close. It's always recommended that you keep your distance from them. It's fun to watch from shore, like these people. But had they been hit in a boat by one of these, it could have been a different story. On June 16, 2014, 2 tornadoes touched down simultaneously.
It's like a freaking tunnel here. I mean, obviously it's tornado there and there, but this is like you're going into a tornado cave or something. That's creepy.
Near Omaha, Nebraska. You can see in the video that unlike waterspouts, these are huge, thick columns of destruction. This is what's known as a multiple vortex tornado. It's a type of tornado that has 2 or more columns that revolve around a common center. Each column has their own axes, but they're connected in some way. These 2 tornadoes took the life of 1 person, injured 19 others, and destroyed a small town called Pilger.
Looks kind of like, and not saying this as a joke, but it just kind of reminiscent of like something out of Stranger Things, you know, like if you just had the, it looks like that underworld or whatever that's in Stranger, the Upside Down. I'm guessing this is a
You know what? We can turn right up.
a storm chaser. The last thing I'd be doing is driving into this if I saw it. I'd be going the other way.
Okay, let's go. Let's creep. Just keep an eye right there with that light.
I could be mistaken, but I think that clicking noise is photos, and I know that like they probably want to get as many photos as they can. But dude, you're just like taking like 100 photos every second. That's a little bit overboard there.
Looks like it's all.
Unless it's some sort of a measuring tool that they have to, because if it is a weather truck, maybe it's measuring something and that's the speed of the wind, but it sounds really like the shutter of a camera.
The footage was captured by a group called Tornado Hunters, and luckily they were not injured in the making of the video. There is a similar phenomenon called a satellite tornado, which is where a smaller tornado will form near a large one within the same mesocyclone. This little satellite tornado will orbit the big one, and it ends up looking similar to a multi-vortex tornado. The two tornadoes in this video touched down in a part of North America known as Tornado Alley. There's no official border for Tornado Alley, but in general, it means northern Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. On average, Nebraska gets 7 tornadoes per 10,000 square miles per year. That's a lot of tornadoes. But an event like the one in this video is rare. Rain is a weather event I'm willing to bet not a single person on Earth hasn't experienced at least once in their life.
Wow,
On
that's
its own,
crazy.
it's really not that exciting. But that all changed for one man in West Java, Indonesia, who captured one of the rarest types of rain on camera. In the video, you can see that some rain is coming down on a parking lot, or so it seems. If you look closely, you can see that only one single car is getting wet. At first, it looks like it must be some type of trick, but this is as real as it gets.
I remember when I was a kid, one of my neighbors down the street, they lived probably about 10 houses down the street. And this is before cell phones. And so we were calling back and forth and like, hey, let's play, blah, 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 you know. And so it's like, all right, I'll go over your house. And then right as I was about to leave, it starts pouring rain. So I call them back. I'm like, oh, I'll just have to come back after the rain passes. And they're like, what are you talking about, rain? It's sunny. And sure enough, 10 houses away, they had bright sun and no rain. And then my house is like pouring rain. It's interesting how like just that short distance, you can have such a harsh difference in weather. But this is kind of weird though. Raining on one vehicle, it's like somebody's bad day, right? It's like in the cartoons where the rain cloud follows them around. That's what's going on to this person. They must have some bad karma.
Yang hujan, ini di mobil ini doang nih. Tuh, masya Allah, masya Allah. Di sini doang nih hujan nih. Ini di sini doang hujan lihat. Nih. Ini di situ doang tuh. Hujan tuh. Tuh lihat tuh. Tuh hujan doang di situ doang. Luar biasa.
One of the clouds sprung a leak.
Luar biasa, kok bisa ya? Kok bisa ya?
The phenomenon is a weather event that is definitely worthy of its own name. It's called a precipitation shaft, and it can happen with rain, hail, and even snow. How does this happen exactly? Well, as you can see in the video, it's not as though there's a tiny cloud right above that one car. Precipitation shafts are mostly found underneath convective clouds such as cumulonimbus clouds or cumulus congestus. Cumulonimbus clouds are dense and tall. Cumulus congestus also tend to be tall and occur in the middle to low height ranges for clouds. Now, precipitation shafts usually only happen during intense downpour rain. This is the kind of rain that has well-defined vertical drafts, both updrafts and downdrafts. Rain that is lighter and is more of just a drizzle can get spread out more. The water droplets weigh less, and so it's easy for the wind to just blow them all over the place. Developing rain shafts tend to have a fuzzy and bulbous appearance as they descend. The person taking this video is so close that you can't really tell, and so it just looks like someone turned a sprinkler on. I'm sure they were very confused at the time, and if I'm being honest, I'm still pretty confused myself, even though I just explained how it all works. In August of 2018, there was a fire at a plastic factory in the small town of Woodville, England. The fire began late in the night, with crews first arriving on scene at 1:20 in the morning. When they got there, they were met with not only heavy damage to the building, but a massive fire whirl or firenado right in front of them.
Firenado sounds like one of those sci-fi movies like Sharknado or just one of those ridiculous movies that they come up with. But this is very real, obviously. It almost looks like a frozen lightning bolt.
The firenado in this video is so large that it actually went out of frame, but thankfully didn't last all that long. The firefighters who filmed this video later posted it online, where it was quickly picked up by news organizations all over the world. Firenados like this one are created when thermal vents from the ground rise up, drawing in fire and ash. They start as a small whirl of wind, which you can actually see thanks to the smoke. If the conditions are just right, they'll soon form into full-blown fire tornadoes. Most often, they're rather small and don't last all that long, but are capable of sucking in debris and combustible gases to fuel themselves. Usually, fire whirls are not classifiable as tornadoes. This is because the vortex doesn't extend all the way from the ground to the cloud base, which is what technically makes something a tornado. Like waterspouts, just because fire whirls aren't technically tornadoes doesn't mean that they aren't dangerous. Fire whirls can get seriously hot. They've been known to get all the way up to 2,000 degrees
Holy
Fahrenheit.
crap.
That's twice as hot as your run-of-the-mill campfire. Fire whirls happen most often during wildfires, so it's especially rare to see one come from a burning building. Clouds are formed when water vapor turns to liquid water droplets. They collect on tiny floating particles.
Clouds look crazy when you see them in that time lapse, the way they're moving. It's almost like it's like some sort of living organism.
Vapor turns to liquid water droplets. They collect on tiny floating particles in the air, and that's basically what creates the clouds we see every day. More often than not, clouds look just about the same all year round, and all over the globe. But that isn't always the case. There are several rare cloud formations that hardly ever form, but when they do, make quite the show. Back in August of 2020, a man in Florida noticed something strange in the sky. At the top of a cloud was a bright light that kept twitching and moving erratically. Unbeknownst to the man, what he was witnessing is known as a crown flash, one of the rarest meteorological phenomena.
What the hell? I hope it's getting it on the camera. I can't even see the screen. Holy shit.
They probably think it's aliens or UFOs.
What the hell? This is bizarre.
Bizarre.
See that cloud right there? See that bright spot? Now watch at the top in that little V where that bright spot is. Watch that bright spot jumping around. I see that. What in the hell is going on? This is bizarre. This is crazy.
Looks like a spotlight almost.
Whoa, look at that! The red one, you see that?
All throughout the video, the man can be heard in awe of what he is seeing. It almost looks like the light is dancing around with no particular rhyme or reason. When researching this entry, I discovered that we don't even actually have a concrete explanation as to why crown flashes occur. A leading hypothesis is that light is reflecting off of ice crystals, and the movement of the crystals creates the movement effect in the light. The man filming the video said the light lasted about 10 to 15 minutes, just enough time to take out his camera to capture it on film. Extreme weather and powerful storms happen all the time on our planet. Every once in a while, someone captures a weather event so rare, it's hard to believe it's even real. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more extreme weather and natural disaster videos, just like it, then be sure to click the link on screen now.
All right, that was pretty cool. Tell me in the comments if you've ever experienced firsthand any weird weather phenomena, or maybe even perhaps like the worst storm you've ever had to go through. Being in Houston, Texas, I've been through tons of tropical storms and hurricanes. I say tons, but yeah, quite a few, honestly. And then Houston is also notorious for flooding. Matter of fact, we had crazy weather yesterday, and there were parts of the city that were flooded, and thousands, I think 80, 90,000 people or something like that without power for a few hours. I'm fortunate that where I live, I don't really experience power outages being in the middle of downtown. But yeah, anyways, tell me in the comments maybe some of the strangest weather conditions you've ever experienced firsthand, and tell me where in the world you are watching me from. Always like to know where you guys are coming from. If you're new here, subscribe, click the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help. And I will see you guys in the next one. Later.